Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdi, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen, ishpata.
Vergeet ni hao, tjulushumbe, washwale, ohio, gonzaimes, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privet, kaifahal, hale shuma chatore, ahlan wa sahlan, marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabia, bhalli kare. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into PTV World. You watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very amazing, the very superb Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello, Shiza. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And as I always say, I do even better after receiving such compliments from you. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And I think they do always have a positive effect. Compliments whenever you give them out to anyone, right? So here's mine to you. You look great today, mashallah.
Oh, thank you very much for saying that. I hope you're not just saying it.
No, I mean it.
That you mean it as well, which is wonderful. And you know, this is something which I wanted to start my day with as well, because for all of those people who are tuned in within 46 different countries, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we do miss out on these compliments every single day. Because usually whenever we come across a person, a friend, you know, a brother or a sister, what we do is that we might probably say that, hey, you know what, your clothes look really nice, your shoes look really nice, your makeup is on point, but we forget to say, hey, you know what, you look really nice. I think this is something which is very important. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, just give away a compliment only if you mean it. Don't say it otherwise, because flattery can be judged right away.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is very important. But Shahzad, you know, sometimes appreciation and acknowledgement is all is all what people want, right? Especially it gives you a boost of morale as well. I'll give you the slightest example. So who cooks at your place? Does your mom cook usually?
No, my chef cooks at my place.
So when your mom or when your wife cooks, don't you feel like, whoever gives the smallest compliment of if the food is nice and if the food is even better than last time, don't you feel like it makes their day? Isn't it a nice thing? Because first of all, they're putting in all their effort to make their family happy. And then being a part of their family, if you do appreciate them, I think it's a 10 on 10.
Exactly. That's very important as well, ladies and gentlemen. So please make sure that you acknowledge all the people in fact, I think this is how it needs to be. I think that everybody needs to acknowledge for all the efforts people make to make sure that you have a great day, or that you have an uninterrupted routine or schedule, you maintain everything as well, which is wonderful. And which is why today what we have done is that we wanted to compliment this gentleman who's over here in the studios with us. Because?
Yeah, absolutely. So he's been on the show before as well, and when you see him, you will know who we're talking about. The best part about him, Shahzad, is that while, yes, he has a job of his own as well, but he loved singing so much that he did not give up on singing. Even at this time of his life as well. So he's been singing. He has about 6 songs to his name right now. Some have their videos. Some videos are still coming up. And today we're going to ask him, of course, to sing. But secondly, we're going to ask him if there's an album coming up and what should we be expecting of him.
Exactly, because ladies and gentlemen, when we say that, you know, he's already released 6 songs, you know, the 6th one is in the making as well. The audio is out, but he's working on the videos. We'll be sharing that song as well. You know, and I think that, you know, we're lucky enough over here at PTV World that, quite often, you know, we bring in people who actually want to share their new and original music for the very first time with our audiences as well. So we're very lucky, ladies and gentlemen, that we've actually been joined by Mr. Inam. Yasin, hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Thank you very much, and wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you, Inam, over here in the studios.
I just say thank you again.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. That's
and how are you?
No, we're doing
Absolutely
great.
perfect.
Thank
You both look nice.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
You look great too as well.
Okay,
thank you very much. So, you know, let's get started with the conversation. Now, the very first question which I'm going to pose to you is a very different one, because when you think about a singer, when you think about a musician, you see them wearing some hard rock type of jackets and, you know, all of that stuff. So you, first of all, are into a curriculum business, you know, you have a book business as well, or a publishing business. And then at the same time, you're a musician, you want to do music. How do you make sure that there's always a right balance in between both of the works you do?
First of all, I'll tell you about that. Right now, we have no work. Because as you know about the corona and schools are closed, so that's why we are not working in our business properly. Sometime when we are thinking about that, our business is stopped, so what we do?
Exactly.
So it's a free time for me, so that's why I'm going to make the songs for my enjoyment. So that's why.
That's nice.
Other than we have facing some problem, difficulties in our business. So it's my request, if PM is right now, if he's listening, please do something for us, because we are suffering from, a
lot of loss.
Yes, a lot of loss.
All right, and definitely your word has been put out over there as well, but, you know, since we have invited you as a musician, so I'm going to ask you one thing. Okay, for a musician, it's always a victory if somebody remembers a song. So I still remember that last time when you were here, you know, you shared a song with us which was Madam Noor Jahan's redo, and it was Akh Ladi
Baddo Baddi.
Baddo Baddi. And I liked it. I liked the song so much that I kind of actually kept on hearing it on YouTube, and I was like, wow, man, you've done a phenomenal job. But now you're working on new music. What kind of music are we expecting from you now?
And just to add to that, you know, ever since yesterday I found out that you were coming on our show, the song, the lines are clearly, they're running in my head in your voice. So you definitely have an effect. So yes, carry on. What's new in your music ever since
Yes,
you last came?
last time I tell you about the Metro Te Lad Gaya Akh Tere Naal. I'm going to make this song. But right now I have a audio song. If your producer is going to play this audio song, so
yes, we can definitely play that. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we will actually try to play the song so that Mr. Inam over here can perform on that song, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can play it. Can we play it, please?
Metro te lad gayi akh tere naal, akh tere naal, akh tere naal, tere naal. Kehne mainu loki tu kudi hai kamal, kudi hai kamal, kudi hai kamal, kudi hai kamal. Tere piche sare tension chhadte, fir vi na bas tu hai mere naal, hai mere naal, hai mere naal. Metro te lad gayi akh tere naal, akh tere naal, akh tere naal. बिल्लो तेरी अखियां है कि एक कमाल तेरी मौत नीचे चाल तेरे लंबे लंबे बाल रबड़ी फूलों के बारे कहते तेरे गाल चल चल कुड़िए तू चल मेरे नाल तेनू दुनिया बुखावा मैं एक कमाल जिथे मुंडी अंदा कीता तू बुरा हाल मेट्रो बनाने वाले तेरा ही कमाल हीरिए नी तेरे पीछे होया पूरा साल होया पूरा साल होया पूरा साल होया पूरा साल हीरिए नी तेरे पीछे होया पूरा साल होया पूरा साल होया पूरा साल होया पूरा साल मजनू बना के मेरा गीता बुरा हाल मजनू बना के मेरा गीता बुरा हाल गीता बुरा हाल गीता बुरा हाल मेट्रो ते लड़ गई अख तेरे नाल अख तेरे नाल अख तेरे नाल Sorry कुड़ी हुण तू लई ए पिसा हुण इहदे नाल तू कर ले विआह Sorry कुड़ी तू हुण लई ए पिसा हुण इहदे नाल तू कर ले विआह बेबी मैनू कहंदी तेरी ए होई सजा मोल भी बुला दुआ भी बुला फटाफट इहदे नाल कर ले फटाफट इहदे नाल
Sorry, I mean the music's still going on in the studio. All right, it's a good time for musicians because first of all, you don't have to go to studios anymore to get your song recorded. Don't have to sort of, you know, plead to producers or composers for that matter. It's a commercial time. You can put up your videos on social media. People can like your song. People can request you for more. So you're your own boss. And because of that, do you think you're going to produce even more music? Because it's literally depending on you now.
Yes, because I love music, and it's you know, you said you're on boss, so this this is sometimes, you know, it's not feeling good for me because
Why?
I need some bosses.
Oh, okay.
I need some boss, serious boss.
Okay.
So I can make more and more songs because, you know, it's a very expensive job. If you are going to make the songs, it's not an easy job.
True.
Yeah.
So it's a very expensive job. But right now I'm trying to enjoy myself, so that's why I'm going to make the song.
Yeah.
So if I try to make the PSL song also,
Yeah.
last time I said, tell him, Shehzad sir, that I'm going to make the PSL song, but I don't have a good platform like that. So that's why I'm not going to do properly because it's just, you know, making a fun time for me. So I'm going on the studio and make the songs for me. But if I have some, you know, good teachers or something like this, so I can make more and beautiful
Exactly.
music.
That's wonderful. And you know, this is something which I'm going to ask you as well, because Shehzad, this is something which I feel for myself, and that is that, you know, when you do not have anybody on top of you, you know, it's a great feeling, and you know that you're your own in charge and that you have to do things on your own. But then I think there comes a time in between when you really take it very easy.
You relax
start
a
to
lot.
procrastinate as well, and then you're like, okay, you know what, I need to get back up. So for all of those people who are their own bosses, I love you, I appreciate you as well. But then there are times when you really need a push,
Yes.
and it's good. So which is why this is something I'm going to ask you, because you said yourself that, you know, it's good to have a boss as well because they're going to push you for whatever you want to do. What are all of those things which you make sure that you're going to do on time, and what are all of those things which you are really reluctant to do? You're like, okay, yaar, main kar lunga bas jab time milega, koi tension nahi. So for all of those things you do on time, and for all of those things you don't do on time. Come on, go ahead, tell us.
First of all, I do my work on time.
Okay.
What
Especially,
work?
You know, as I'm a publisher,
Yes.
so I have to make some books for the children,
Okay.
especially for the single national curriculum.
Yeah.
And second is the music.
Okay.
See, I'm not doing on the time,
Yeah.
but I try to
Do it on
make it
time.
on time.
All right, and you
Yes.
usually do your lyrics to your own self, right?
Yes, yes.
So is there some time, so for example, like with a lot of writers or even for screenwriters or, you know, directors for that matter, they often say that they have one particular time. Like,
Yeah.
for example, at midnight, the ideas come rushing and you have the brightest ideas and they often work
Yeah.
out.
Yes.
So what about you?
When I am driving, I had some, you know, different thinking in my mind. So
When you're driving?
Yes, when I am driving.
Oh.
So on that time, I made the songs on the time.
Oh,
all
what
the
about
time.
you,
all the time.
Shazad?
So do you like remember? I mean, I for me it's very different. I just have to be by myself, you know, for a longer period of time, and then all of a sudden there's this thought that, okay, you know what, probably I can write something about this, which I in fact I did. You know, just just a few days ago, somebody actually reached out to me and they were like, hey, you know what, you actually need to write something about your life, and then probably, you know, we can take it from there. So I might share it with all of the audiences out
Can we
there
do
as
it?
well. Yes,
Yes,
I
why
think.
not?
So it's something I've written. I'm not sure whether it's good enough or not, but I've written it. So the chorus of the song is ye hu main, ye hu main, ye hu main. All right. So
Yeah.
it's just about me. So this is how it goes. पहला ही लड़का था मैं रानों के घराने में, देर लगी थोड़ी मेरे पेरेंट्स को मुझे इस दुनिया में लाने में, मुश्किल नहीं थी सबका लाड पाने में, क्योंकि पहला ही लड़का था मैं इस घराने में. पैदा ही हुआ तो दादी ने फोन किया दादा को कि आ गया लड़का अब इस घराने में. दादा बोले चेक करो लड़का ही आया ना अब इस जमाने में. बड़ा टाइम लगा दादी को दादा को मनाने में.
I like it.
अब मैं जो आ ही गया था, लाड को पा ही गया था, तो बस इतना सा वक्त लगा सब कुछ मिसयूज करवाने में. पढ़ाई तो मुझे कभी समझ नहीं आई, बट समर वेकेशन में सिर्फ दादा के घर की याद आई. बचपन तो मेरा सब चाचू के साथ गुजरा, और लड़कपन में थी थोड़ी पिटाई. अम्मी तो मुझे रोज मारा करती थी, बट वही एक वजह थी कि मेरी जिंदगी तबाही से बच पाई. अब्बू के हौसले और अम्मी की दुआओं ने मुझे कुछ डिफरेंट कर दिया था. मैं खुद भी उनको खुश करने की लगन में था, जो मन में था वो कर रहा था. I've written it till now, but I think I'm going to move on with that.
you
Do
know
you think
what?
it's nice?
It's very nice,
yes,
right?
It's
What do you
nice.
think?
It's nice. Very nice.
And it's so personalized as well. I mean,
Yeah.
someone would really enjoy listening
Yes.
to it, right?
Exactly. Probably, you know, somebody who's the only son as well.
Yes,
No, but
I
see,
have
even-
also only son, so
Aw,
he is
that's
going
I
to
think you
that.
can understand. But now, coming back to you, since the show is about you today.
First of all, this is very beautiful.
Thank you very
Aw.
much.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
very much. And I really appreciate
You have to sing this song.
Yeah, I
Because your rhythm is good for the rap.
Yeah.
Huh, he's
Thank
a
you
good
very much for saying that as well. And yeah, I'm going to do that, but let's come back to you as well. Because you've, alhamdulillah, now you've released 6 songs. You know, you're working on another video, and I just remember that your wife does not like you dancing with other women in
It
music
always
videos.
comes up.
In women, in other videos, music videos. So what's your take on this one? You know, because Metro Te Ladki Akh Tere Naal has to be a girl, right? It cannot be anybody else.
Yes, yes.
So are you going to be, is it going to be you yourself, or is it going to be a model in your place and then you will be singing, or how are you going to do it?
I am just going to sing the song. I am not becoming a model.
So you won't act it out this time?
Yes.
Because you've done it before, right?
Yes, I have done my job because you know my wife is. As you said about that, so I'm not a model. I don't have any words for this.
So you are going to listen to
Yes,
her this time.
yes, very carefully. You know.
Very carefully.
So, Inam, you're doing a good job, but inshallah, hopefully, you know, few more videos down the lane, your wife will even understand that, you know, it's just your job. It's just a sort of a business and you have to do it. Well, best of luck for both of the things, your wife understanding and your music videos.
Yeah.
One thing I want
Yeah,
to
sure.
mention here, because when I'm going to make some TikTok videos or something like that,
Yeah.
she said, "Why you are doing this? You're a man. You have 4 children. Why you are going to do this kind of things?" I said, "It's my job. You
Yeah.
know, we have lots of actors right here in all over the world. They are working and they are dancing. They're doing this. But why you are all the time?"
Complaining.
Yes, complaining to me. Why you are doing? I said, okay.
Maybe she doesn't like the attention that you get, right?
I don't know what you.
But okay, you know, this is a very valid point, and I think we really need to talk about this as well, because just yesterday Vakar Zakar was at my place, and
Yeah.
we were in conversation and he asked me whether are you on TikTok. I was like, I made a TikTok account, but I made 1 or 2 videos and they didn't do really good. So I kind of deleted it because, you know, I thought that it was a waste of time. I think what he said was very important for everybody out there as well, and I'm going to share it. And I've been saying it on multiple occasions that I've learned a lot from Waqar Zakka, to be very honest. As a person, he's really a teacher to me as well. So he said that, you know, for people who are on television, people who are on media, it's important for them to be on all of these streams. And it is so because, you know, all of other people, for example, if a brand is going to call you for any endorsement and they ask you, okay, are you on TikTok? What are you going to say? No, they will make sure that they're going to call you obsolete or they'll call you outdated, because all of these streams are for people who are on social media, who are on television, who want to make it big in life as well. What's your take on this, Shiza?
Oh, you're asking me? Well, all right.
Gotcha.
Yes, I agree with what Waqar Zakka said, but of course I have my own reservations. So what he said makes sense, because when you are a public figure, when you are a star like he is or like you are, mashallah,
Like you are.
you know, for social media, because millions of people are present on such platforms, be it TikTok, be it Facebook for that matter, and the reach you will get on such platforms and the recognition you will get on such platforms is actually way more than TV nowadays, because TV nowadays is traditional media, and not a lot of people will tune into TV like they used to before. So your phone and all the apps on your phone are one major outlet. So maybe that does make sense. I mean, when, for example, you've done quite some ads for some energy drinks or drinks for that matter, right? So if you didn't know them or if they didn't know you, they were to look up Shahzad Khan, then nothing would come up. So I think for that matter, it's really important.
It is important.
What do you think, Inam?
I think you're right, and Waqar Bhai is a boss of the social media.
Absolutely.
So that's why he is trying to push everybody. You have to work on it because he like all the social media. You know, we are watching him on the Facebooks also. I follow him because he's all the time making some videos for the
for everybody to learn.
Everybody to learn. Yes. And right now he's working on the reaction of the TikTok.
And yeah, this is something which he talked about as well, that he's actually created a parallel platform alongside making TikTok videos. He's making TikTok reactions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine, so that's very smart as well. But yeah, Alhamdulillah, I'm glad that, you know, if you're going to actually look for me or Shiza on TikTok, you'll actually find videos which we haven't posted, but people have
for
posted.
real? I didn't
yes,
know that.
Alhamdulillah. I'm going to show you after the break as well. I like
Brilliant.
looking out for videos or things which we have done as well. But now I think it's about time that we listen to you one last time as well.
Our favorite song, I guess. We're going to make a request over
Akhladi
here.
Baddo Baddi. Okay, are you going to sing it for us? Okay, come on, let's do it.
Akhladi baddo baddi, मौका मिले कदी कदी, कल नहीं किसे ने वेखी, मजा ले ये अजदा, आए हाय अख लड़ी बदो बदी. Sing. मौका मिले कदी कदी, कल नहीं किसे ने वेखी, मजा ले ये अजदा, आए हाय.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
We're ruining it for you, man. Please, you carry on.
कलो दिल असा एको बारी मंगना किता इनकार ते तू कोलो नहीं ओ लंगना कल करा खरी खरी समझी ना एनु तड़ी कल नहीं किसन वेखी मजा ले ये अजदा.
Wow. Wonderful, yaar, wonderful. Thank you very much, Inam, for sharing your time with us as well and with our audiences. It was wonderful. It's always wonderful to have you. We wish you best of luck for your future endeavors. And yeah, make sure that whenever you're making your next music video, you're only singing, you're not the model, so that your wife does not have any issues. Bobby, he's a great guy. Please make sure that you do not say anything to him, because it was just me being naughty. It's not him. Thank you very much, Inam, once again. It's always lovely to have you. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I know that this was a fun segment, but the next segment isn't going to be this much fun. I think that, what's your take on this?
All right. On the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that we need to talk about, yes. A lot of people are talking about it.
And a lot of people go through it.
Go through it, yes, but for different reasons. So for the next segment, we are probably going to, well, first of all, find out the reasons that do lead to the thing that we will be talking about. And then, is it a cultural thing? Why is it a taboo? Why is it still stigmatized? Should it be stigmatized? I know this is sort of a suspense that we've created, but to find out what it is, you have to stay tuned. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. And after this show, I hope you have an even better day.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So before we went out on a short break, we said we're going to talk about something really important, which matters first of all. It's a life-changing thing. I mean, it really matters on how people will perceive you and the confidence or the type of confidence you'll have. And especially where we said, Shahzad, how some things are still stigmatized.
Yeah.
So here we go. What were we talking about?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I think today, for the very first time, I'm a little confused and a little nervous as well, because we were very lucky that we were actually being joined by somebody who happens to be an image consultant and a person who's actually going to make sure that if, God forbid, if you are to actually go for a corporate meeting or for that matter, anywhere, if it's a business meeting as well, you really need to project your right image.
Absolutely.
Half of the time what we do is that we men, we're not really very careful about the kind of dressing we are into or the kind of clothes we're going to wear or what the fashion entails in today's time. I think that all of these things are important because the first ever perception of you is going to come across the way you're dressed or the way your shoes are, the way your tie is, or the way your pocket scarf is, or for that matter, even for ladies, if they're wearing socks and the heels or not. Yeah, so something like that. But yeah, so today, ladies and gentlemen, because we were very lucky that this gentleman was over here in Pakistan. So we thought that we should actually call him over on the show as well and just do a fair analysis of ourselves. And yes, for all of those people who are out there, ladies and gentlemen, he's actually made sure that he's dressed up top politicians within the US, businessmen, entrepreneurs, a lot of people. So without any further ado, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by the image consultant from New York, and he is Mr. Hamid Saeed. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you.
You look great, needless to say, of course.
Okay.
But to begin with, Hamid Saab, it's very important, image consultancy,
Yes,
first of
yes,
all. I
yes.
think you're one of a kind people in Pakistan, especially because I haven't seen people go to professionals to ask for how to dress for a certain event or how to dress to impress for that
Yes,
matter,
yes,
right?
yes.
So first of all, how does it feel to be that one person in this vicinity, let's say?
I think I'm the only game in town, and
Yes.
I feel like I have monopoly here. I mean, I have a lot of space that I can travel.
Yeah.
Right.
No, seriously speaking, I'm very happy to be here. And I tell you something, wherever I go, there's a great appetite for what I have to talk about.
Yeah.
And just dressing.
Yes.
You mentioned confidence, and you mentioned people not sure about what they should wear and all that.
Yeah.
And I tell you something, I'm talking to the students, I'm talking to businessmen, I'm talking to all the bureaucrats and everything. I tell you, they are glued to their chairs.
Yeah. Thank you very
Right,
much for
and-
saying that, because I think that's what they have been fighting for all their life, the chair itself as well.
I like
But
it.
earlier in the morning, when I woke up, and this is something I was thinking that, okay, since Mr. Hamid Saeed Sahib is going to be on the show, I was like, okay, should I be wearing colored socks or not? Because,
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, and this is what I wanted to talk about, because
Yes,
they say
yes,
that
yes.
people who wear colored socks are really colorful as well. They're not that sober, what they say. But what are the most common mistakes, for example, if you start from bureaucrats, because over here in Islamabad, we have a larger number of people who work for the government,
Right.
right? And,
Right.
every single day you might see them with a waistcoat and a kurta shalwar, and that's
Yes,
pretty
yes,
much it. Or if somebody's wearing a tie, the tie is going somewhere else, the
Right.
color is out. What are the most common mistakes? Let's start.
All right, let's start with socks.
Yeah.
I believe that, people should be able to pay attention to over here instead of the socks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I would say that loud socks, I don't think it's going to get you any place. There's only one person that who can wear loud socks and get away with that, and that's the Prime Minister of Canada. But something, let me explain to you why
Okay.
why it looks good on him or why he can carry it. It's actually, it's like he can carry it because he's that sort of guy, He'll go to the temple and he'll become like a Hindu.
Yeah.
He'll go to the mosque, he'll become a Muslim, and then he'll go to a synagogue, he becomes a Jew.
Yeah.
So he's that kind of a person. So, when you are that kind of a person, then I think it could fly with you. But I would say on a, generally speaking, loud socks, I would say no.
All right.
Yeah.
The other mistakes I see is that I'm glad that you're wearing the right shoes today. Most of the guys, but this is true, when they wear a suit, many of them are now wearing lace-up shoes.
Yeah.
So lace-up shoes goes with, because the suit is a serious element, serious clothing.
Yeah.
So it goes with serious shoes. Not only that, but also Oxford shoes, not like very pointy shoes, not very wide shoes. So, you know, you're spot on.
Thank you.
So
So
that's
I'm
another
feeling so
mistake that
good
people
today.
make.
Yeah.
And the third mistake they make is when they sit down many of the time and they're wearing a jacket and they still have their button closed,
yeah.
and they're very uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I would say when you sit down, just like you did, I mean, you are like 100 out of 100 right now
Thank you very much for
so
that.
far.
All
And then
right.
there will be one tip that I'll give you in the end.
That is it towards the end of the show.
And there's the show. So anyway, you know, talking about, you know, when you stand up, you can if you want to close the buttons, you can close only top button.
Yeah.
All right.
In Pakistan, maybe 60-70% of men, they close both buttons.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
because they want their belly to go in.
Yeah. No, actually, it does the reverse.
Yeah.
It accentuates the belly, and also it creates all those wrinkles.
Yeah, yeah,
So I would say that's not a great look.
Exactly.
What other mistakes they make? Oh, another big mistake they make is when they're wearing, you know, socks. Socks are not long enough.
Yeah.
So when they sit down, you know, the pant rides.
Yeah,
okay. And then all of a sudden the skin starts showing. You're 100% okay there so far. Okay. All right.
All right.
He's a great model. You were a model, so
Thank you,
I
yeah.
know that.
Thank
All
you
right,
very
so
much.
so you're doing great. And when you cross legs, remember that again. You know, again your pant rides. And I have seen some people. I won't name names. You know, very
Okay.
high positions, and when they cross their legs, and the skin shows. The rule for skin is this: the only places the skin should show is face and hands. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow.
That makes
That's
sense.
another mistake they make. Talking about mistakes, you know, the belt. The belt should be, when you're wearing a suit, it should be a serious belt, not a casual belt.
Exactly.
Casual belt has big buckle.
You want to see?
Okay.
Man alive. You should be in my position, sitting here, right here. You could do just fine. So anyway, the belt has to be, you know, with the casual clothes, the casual belt, dress, you know, I mean suits like that, serious belt, and then also the belt should also match with the shoes.
Of course.
The black belt, black shoes. So these are kind of like, you know, very common mistakes that
And
I
if you're
see.
carrying a man bag as well, then the bag should complement the shoes or the belt.
If you get in the bag,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say it's, yeah, it's the same. You know, like why would if you have a black belt and black shoes, why to carry a brown bag?
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly.
So I would say, you know, it looks for like full coordination. You know,
Yeah.
You know, you should look very homogeneous, very harmonious.
Absolutely.
that's
But
what
that
I-
only happens with people who do have the sense like you do or like Shahzad does. But now, sir, I'm going to take you back to where you said, well, when we were talking about colorful socks, sorry,
No
Shahzad,
problem.
that it may complement some people and it may not others, right? Which makes me, well, sort of question. So for a person who's not a millionaire, and if he was invited to a dine-in of, let's say, CEOs or millionaires, the first thing that comes to his mind is, oh, I have to wear my best suit. I have to wear my best shirt. And I don't remember who quoted this, and I was reading in it. He said that for the people who do not belong to that circle, they end up looking like waiters at the dine-in, while the CEO himself is wearing a blue jeans and a white T-shirt. How casual is that?
Right.
But for that person, if he were to enter the event with the jeans, he would seem unfit. So how come something suits some people and some don't?
Well, you know, my take on this is this, that, you know, you should be properly attired for the occasion.
Okay.
I mean, you know, don't take a chance.
Okay.
I would not. You know, I tell you something, you know, there's a lot of talk about like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He wears T-shirt and jeans and this and that whole bit. But let me tell you this, don't let this guy fool you, you know. He really knows how to dress, because there were two instances I will, you know, describe. Like one time he had to go to in front of Senate and Congress
Yes,
to
that
testify.
I was about to.
I'm from New York, and I know had he worn T-shirts and jeans on that day, he would have been toast. I tell you that.
Really?
Not because, you know, I mean, he was wearing T-shirt and jeans, because it's in their culture. They would have like they would have kind of said that, you know, he has no respect for us.
Exactly.
True.
So he was like impeccably dressed on that day. Not only like he looked like a, you know, cover boy on a GQ magazine, if you take a look at the picture. The other time we went to China to see President of China, and you can also Google it up and see, like, you know, he was like impeccably dressed again.
Okay.
So it's actually is situational dressing. And I would say that, you know, you must know what the situation is, and you know, don't try to stand out too much.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, go with the flow, and I think whatever that dress attire is for that particular occasion, I would say is stick with that.
Exactly. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I think that you've wonderfully explained to our audiences as well. But one more thing, and that is that, okay, since we are talking about Mark Zuckerberg, so let's go to somebody who's been impeached as well just recently.
Okay,
We'll talk about Mr. Trump. He always wears a red tie.
Right.
Now, what's the significance of a red tie? And can suit always be the right choice?
Republican?
Okay, as far as red tie is concerned, I would say it's a power tie. Okay, and I mean, if he doesn't exude power, I don't know who does.
Even
I mean,
Kim
in his
Jong-un
mind.
oftentimes does wear a red tie. Kim Jong-un.
Yeah,
So it is a power
and
tactic.
so it symbolizes that. I mean, I will tell you this. When Imran Khan's government came in the first time, they put out a message to the United States that we want to talk to on equal terms. So when you come in here, don't come with do more policy and that sort of thing. So on that day, when Pompeo came the very first time, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, our foreign minister, was wearing, I would say, epitome of power. He was wearing black suit, white shirt, red tie. So
Nice,
I mean, that's what you call epitome of power.
Yeah.
Right.
So Donald Trump. I mean, his history now, or will be very soon. I hope so. So anyway, so that's what the connotation of that is. On the other hand, let's talk about colors. A black suit is considered power color.
Okay.
Again, for men,
But
women,
it's so
both.
basic, isn't it?
It is basic, it's elegant, it's stylish. It's like, in New York says that
Subtle.
I will wear a darker color if
they had something darker
there's
than
another
black.
darker than that. But obviously black.
Yeah.
And after that is the navy color. Navy
Oh,
color
of
is the
course.
best color, for men, women both. And let me tell you the connotation of navy color. Navy color has three things. Number one, it falls well with all socioeconomic level people. So when you meet, let's say, for example, somebody who thinks like he's way up there, and you're meeting that person because he also wears navy suit. So he would say, oh, he's my kind of guy. And the other is if you meet somebody who's like a middle class, he will also respect that, and a lower middle class definitely will respect that. Plus also you get more mileage out of that suit.
Okay.
Black suit, if you're wearing the same black suit like every other day, people think you have only one suit,
one.
probably. And so,
That
so
might be true in Pakistan as well.
Exactly, unless you're a lawyer, so obviously that's a different story. So that's the connotation of color. But I want to talk more about what you said in the opening statement a little bit. You said about you make a statement wherever you go, and you want to make sure that you dress well and all that. I tell you something. I'm an expert on nonverbal communication of clothing, so I want to talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
Do that.
And you also talked about confidence, right, in the opening statement.
Yeah.
So my take on this is that when you walk into a room, before you utter a single word out of your mouth, you have said all about you.
Of course,
Exactly.
I believe in that.
Through your dressing, through your attire, through your appearance, through your even aura, personality,
language, yes.
everything, whole package. So let's talk about 5 or 6 things that you talk about before you utter a single word out of your
Sure.
mouth.
And
Go
this
ahead.
is very important for all the people who are probably looking to go for an interview as well, because you're going to create a first
Absolutely.
impression.
So the first thing that you talk about yourself is what socioeconomic level you belong to. All right. I mean, it's not a philosophical discussion that should we not, but we do.
Yeah.
So the first thing is that we say is, okay, this guy, this girl, what socioeconomic level? Do you belong from an affluent society? Do you belong from middle, lower middle, or maybe even from a village or something based on your appearance? Now, it doesn't really matter where you belong to. What matters is if you look well groomed. If you look well groomed, let me tell you this, you can go there anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Actually, I do say this, that there are 2 things which are, I would say, equalizer wherever you go in the world. One is education, and the other one is the way you dress. So that's first thing. Second thing is, you also, as soon as you walk into a room, you talk about yourself, you tell about yourself, or you convey how successful you are.
Yeah.
So I'm also a graduate engineer. I have a logic insight burnt in me. So if you don't look successful, then what do you look?
Yeah.
True.
You look unsuccessful. So obviously, who wants to look unsuccessful?
Yeah.
And the third thing is what you mentioned, how confident you are. Again, you haven't said a single word out of your mouth yet.
Yeah.
So if you don't look confident, I mean, who's going to hire you?
Absolutely. I'm confidently going to wear socks with my heels, you guys. I'm telling you that.
Or
don't know if
socks with
anybody-
sandals.
I don't know if anybody noticed that or not, but
You
you said it
mentioned-
already.
Yeah, I'm
well, I
confident
wasn't
about it.
talking about you though.
Yeah.
So that's the third thing, how confident you look. And then the fourth thing is, you're educated. shouldn't you look educated? I mean, I guess so. You
Yes,
know,
absolutely.
so if you're educated, you must look educated. And then obviously there are a few other things. You know, you must look competent, you must look knowledgeable. But the two most important things are: do you look trustworthy and credible?
Yeah. How do we look?
If you don't look trustworthy and credible, with your white shirt, you look trustworthy and credible.
Okay, so
by the way, white shirt is,
Yeah.
white shirt is, if you want to look trustworthy and credible, I give you a tip. Wear your white shirt.
Okay.
And with women, you know, you can integrate some sort of white into your, like, you know, hijab or dupatta, or if you're wearing a kameez or whatever, you know, you can take that color and incorporate that. But anyway, white shirt means trustworthy, white shirt means credible, white shirt means...
Is it welcoming as well?
Yes,
Does
yes.
it,
You know,
does it
trustworthy
make you
and credible.
seem, yeah, does it make you seem approachable, like people can
Absolutely approachable.
I don't want
And
that
then it
sometimes.
also looks refined, polished like you are, and sophisticated. I mean, so you have, like, in one shirt, in one color, you're saying all these things.
शीशे में उतार लिया आज आपने हमें क्या बात है बहुत खूबसूरत
But
No,
sir,
I mean,
since
like-
we're short on time, I really want
I'm
to
not
talk about
appeasing
this.
you.
Yeah, I know.
So cultural appropriation, does it sit well all the time? So for example, for the first time Imran Khan Sahib went to for his session in UNGA, he's wearing Pakistani tie, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Also when the princess and the prince come to Pakistan, they're wearing shalwar kameez, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Does it always sit well? Or should you have your own identity?
Well, I tell you, it could go both ways. I mean, she came in here, she gave a lot of respect to our country, and she wore that. So I took it that way.
Okay.
And when Imran Khan went to America, he could have worn it in suit. I mean, it would have been taken just as seriously as...
But he
as
barely does. He's always
Yeah.
in Pakistani tie.
But, you know,
He's
I
our
think
representative.
he has created his own signature look,
Yes.
which I think works for him.
Exactly,
does.
and that's wonderful. But you know, this is something which is difficult for a lot of people to create their own signature look.
Yes.
I think that the only reason behind is that they're still not able to realize the kind of personality they have to themselves in the first place. So, some quick tips to make your own signature look, number one. And number two, what are the most common mistakes women make when they dress?
All
So
right.
important.
All right. Well, it would be hard to say that, but anyway,
please, I
I'll
wanna
try.
learn.
I'll try. Anyways, you know, you talked about how to create a signature look.
Yeah.
You know, people do ask me here in Pakistan that who do I like? Who are the well-dressed people? And I always say I like a lot of people that who are well-dressed, but they're well-dressed one day, and then they're somewhat well-dressed, and then the third day you look at them, you know, is he the same guy, same girl? So that's the problem.
Okay.
That
So
is the
that's
problem.
why signature look is very important. But signature look doesn't mean that you're going to be wearing the same colors and same things and all that.
Okay.
I have a formula for signature look. If
Please go ahead.
You know, it's 5 piece of dressing which I developed in the United States. And I tell you something, if you follow this formula, comprehend this, you internalize it and then implement it, you will never make a dressing mistake again.
Wow, go ahead.
Number one,
Yeah.
coloration, what color you should wear.
Okay.
The color should be compatible to your eye color, hair color, skin tone.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
I tell you
I
something.
found that
Eye
out
color,
just randomly the other day.
Eye
and I was
color, hair color, and skin tone.
Skin tone.
Yeah, army
I-
green looks
So
great
what's- so
because
what's
I have
my color
brownish
then?
cream.
Well, you know, I mean, your coloration is, I think you look great in darker colors. And, you know, you're typically Pakistani, you know, you're a little bit on the fair side, but there's fair and then we are darker color in the middle.
Yeah.
So I would say that that's the key. Now, let me tell you what happens when you wear the right colors,
Yeah.
okay? That's where the science comes in. When you wear the right color, I'm talking about the garments here, which is close to your face, your skin will glow.
It does, yes.
And when your skin glows, you look great.
Yeah.
And on top of that, your eyes and look very vibrant. You look very energetic. You look like full of life.
Yeah.
Now you're the same guy when you wear colors which are opposing. You know, you look tired. You look lethargic. You look like lazy.
Yeah.
And you look like you want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the wrong. You know, it happens to everybody. You know, some days we get compliments. So you look
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
right? And we don't know why, but actually that's the color. And we're the same person, and a couple of days later, the same guy says, "What's the matter? You know, are you sick?
You look
Are you all right?
like,
Is there any family problem or anything like that?" So that's the color. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, should you follow fashion trend or should you follow something else? Now, fashion trend is very important.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fashion guy. I will say, you know, but I tell you something. You don't have to impose all the fashion on you.
Yeah.
You know, you
Not in a single day.
Not overdo
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you must look classic. You must look modern. You must look, I would say, state of the art, and I would say
Presentable.
current.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, what really drives is your physique.
Yeah.
You know, your styling is based on your physique. Are you short? Are you tall? Are you heavy? What are you? I mean, if it's a heavy set guy, you know, I mean, nowadays slim fit, we are wearing slim fit. Can you imagine a heavy set guy wearing a slim fit?
No.
I mean, the tummy is going to be more accentuated, and the shoulders are going to come out way up there. Hips are going to be very big. So you must be very careful about your physique. If you're a short guy, you know, Pakistan has a lot of short guys, 5'6" and under. You and I were lucky, you know, with tall people. But I mean, you know, there are a lot of short people.
Yeah.
I sympathize with them. Yeah, you know, I am the best news to them because I teach them how to become taller, how to look taller.
Yeah.
Illusion.
Dressing techniques. That's what it is basically. So for the shorter guy, you know, if you're wearing a kind of like a little bit longer jacket, guess what happens? He looks like he's wearing his dad's clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So anyway, so physique is what you should follow. And the third P is personality. You know, clothes should look, you know, best on your personality, you know, suit your personality. And the fourth is, you know, you may not have heard it, but position. You should wear clothes according to your position.
All right.
What does that mean?
If you are a C-level guy, you should look like a C-level guy.
Okay,
If you're a top management guy, you should look like top management guy. And the list goes on. And the last thing is profession.
Wow.
That's the fifth P. I mean, if you're a doctor, you must look like a doctor. If you are an engineer, you should look like an engineer, and a judge should look like a judge, and an anchor should look like an anchor.
Absolutely.
Wow, wonderful that is. Thank you very much, Hamid Saab, for being with us.
This was so enlightening.
Yeah, even though there were a lot of other questions which we wanted to ask you, but since we short on time, so I think we'll have to wrap up over here. And we are glad that you took out time, that you were here on our show as well. And the pleasure is all ours. Thank you very much for all the quick tips. We hope that the audiences are actually going to take advantage, and we're going to take advantage of all of these tips as well.
We will definitely.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure, absolutely. And you know what, Shahzad, since you said we're short on time and we still have a lot of questions, let's put a pin to it, because for the next time, in probably after 2 weeks, we'll have Hamid Saab over here again.
Yeah.
And till then, what you guys can do is write to us with all your questions and queries about what's in, what's out, what will suit you, what not. And for that, you can log on to our Facebook page with the name of
Well, this morning.
On Twitter.
Well, this morning without a G.
YouTube.
YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, you actually have to look for PTV World, and alhamdulillah, this is the most viewed show on PTV World as well, which is World This Morning.
Yes, and the repeat of this show actually. You
5
can catch
past
that.
midnight. Till the
Absolutely.
next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good morning.
Take care.